Alrighty, what is up, y'all? Profitz here. Welcome back to another video, and today we're kind of going over how my trading week went. And I'd love to know how your trading week went down below in the comments. But pretty freaking slow week this week. There was a lot of consolidation, especially towards the beginning of the week, and then the second half of the week it really started picking up. So hopefully a lot of you guys didn't get chopped up in the market. But in my last video, if you guys haven't watched that yet, go check it out on my channel. But in my previous video, I was going over some trades, and I mentioned this Euro GBP trade that I took, and it was the previous week. But then this past week, I held it over the weekend, and then I closed it on, I believe it was, let me see. Yeah, it was Monday. I closed it on Monday. I took it on, I think, yeah, it was on Friday. Friday morning I took it. My entry was happened right here at the retest of the 4-hour 50 moving average. Entered the trade, and then it went up. It was going up, and I ended up holding it to the weekend, or through the weekend, and then closing out on Monday for a 1 to 2 risk reward. And that's really my kind of minimum. Really, I like 1 to 3 and above. But 1 to 2 is like the minimum that I'm going to take profit on. My 1 to 2 was hit. We were hitting structure. We were showing exhaustion, so I ended up taking out. Also, we were approaching that 200 moving average, which it could bounce off of anyways. So I made the decision to take the profit, to just take out. It was a trade I held over the weekend anyway, so I was like, let's just not mess with it this week and take the profit on Monday. And then I didn't enter another trade all the way until Friday this week, which was actually on USD CAD, which is this trade right here. And this was actually a 1-hour entry, not a 4-hour entry. And as you can see here, let's go ahead and maximize this. Again, this is the 1-hour time frame, and we were looking at these levels because on the TDI here, there is divergence happening from all the way from this shark fin, really. It's going up here, price is going down here, so that is showing divergence. And then another shark fin happened here, and again, price is going up on the TDI, but price is going down on in the actual market. So that is called divergence. I'm not going to go super in depth on the strategy. I have other videos, go check them out if you want to see how I trade higher time frames. But shark fins, divergence, key levels, quarter points are all things that I focus on for this strategy, as well as, of course, just basic price action, support and resistance zones, right? So this trade right here, we are looking, or what I took, I was actually originally looking for a lower entry, which is going to be on the 4-hour time frame, but then the 1-hour time frame ended up pushing above the 50 moving average and then came back and retested. I don't know if you can see these wicks here. Like I said, there was some consolidation. There was news Friday that came out, right? So there was some consolidation, but we ended up pushing above on Thursday going into Friday, and then Friday morning we went above this 50 moving average and then came back and tapped it, which is one of my entry levels, or one of my, I guess, entry setups would be the break and retest of the 50 moving average. Really on the 1-hour and the 4-hour time frame, but the 1-hour time frame, I noticed that it does work a lot, and we would take that to the 200 moving average. So ended up getting in. This was a little bit bigger of a stop loss than I'm wanting, but now that this trade is already starting to play out, I'm going to move it up to about right here. So the risk reward goes up heavily, because if it breaks back below this 50 moving average and just keeps pressing down, we're not going to end up, it's not going to work out. So I'm not just going to hold more drawdown for no reason. If anything, it might go down and give me that 4-hour entry, and I can get another entry rather than hold more drawdown and take a bigger loss than necessary. And I believe this was a Bollinger Band play as well. Let's see. We got the Bollinger Bands. Yes, this also had a 1-hour Bollinger Band touch right before it went up and broke that 50. So that is another confluence that I use, is Bollinger Bands. So quite a lot that goes into, sorry, I'm not sure what happened to my mic there, but quite a lot that went into this week, but it was a lot of consolidation, so I didn't see a lot of setups. And notice that I was so patient that I didn't enter a trade until Friday, which I normally don't even do. But because my entry setup happened and it was one that I've been looking at and waiting on, and knowing myself that if it was to happen on Friday, especially with news coming out, if it was going to give me some kind of entry, I was going to take it and then hold it over the weekend, which has ended up being what happened. So holding this trade right now, looking for it to come up here again to that 4 hour or 1 hour 200, which is going to be the 4 hour 50. Let's go back here. Let's go back to the 4 hour time frame. Yep, 1 hour 200, the 4 hour 50 right there. So that is the level we are looking at. We're also creating some nice bullish structure right here. So we'll see what happens. But happy with the entry. If it ends up not working out, then it just doesn't work out. We also had divergence on the 4 hour time frame, which is really nice. And just to go over it again, if you guys are not quite sure on the divergence, you see prices moving down here. You go to TDI, and you see price is moving up. That is divergence. So as you can see, down, price is moving up on here. We're in a nice, I don't know what this is, a nice zone of divergence here, which is just, again, another confluence. But the main thing I wanted to go over with you guys today and mention along with these setups and updates on my trades is notice how patient I was to not take any trades because simply my entries were not given. My entries were not, none of them were hit. I had some alerts set on some different pairs and nothing hit the zones I was wanting them to. And really just, my setups just didn't occur this week, which is okay, until Friday. So I was still participating in the market. I knew I still had some profit that I took from my trade that I held over from the previous week on Friday to Monday. So I wasn't like itching to get in the market. I think that's one thing that trips a lot of traders up is you guys have trouble sitting on your hands when your trades, your entry levels are not hit. You want to then find something to trade, which I could have gone in the market and found a trade somewhere on some pair, even if it didn't go according to my plan. Of course, you can always find a trade. Could it work out? Yeah. Could it not work out? Yes. And if it doesn't work out, when you're trading outside of your plan, guess what? Your emotions are going to be screwed up for the rest of the week or even longer, depending on how you deal with it. But I've been in this game long enough where I know that if my entry is not hit, then I just don't take a trade. There's been weeks that I don't trade. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. And usually if it's that long, I'm really just taking a break from the markets and not even looking at it. But there's times where a week or two goes by and I don't see any entries. So I'm not going to put any capital at risk if my entry's not hit, if my entries are not there. There's just no point in risking your emotional capital and your physical capital to just because you're itching to participate in the market. If you're itching to participate that bad, open a demo account and do that, or open a really small live account and trade that with really low risk or something like that, which I still don't even recommend any of that. Just learn to sit on your hands. It's going to help you a lot in the long run because, again, I think that's what trips a lot of people up. It tripped me up for a lot of time in, my first couple years of my trading journey. Really, my first 3 years of my trading journey. Taking unnecessary trades. I don't see a trade this week. You look on social media, you look on Instagram, YouTube, and say, dang, these traders are catching these awesome trades. I'm not seeing any with my strategy. I must be doing something wrong. No, you are not doing something wrong. It's not your strategy. Just wait for your entries to be hit. And think about it like this. Instead of thinking about, I didn't take that many trades this week, or I didn't even take a single trade this week, I could have made this much money, but I didn't take any trades. Instead of thinking like that, you need to think in the side of the downside of risk. Think about, I didn't take any trades this week. Well, I didn't risk any of my capital this week, and I stayed in my trading plan. So that should be a win in your book. I'm telling you, if you start slowly dialing your mind to think this way, where you're thinking more about the downside on every single trade you enter instead of the upside, if you're just entering these random trades, you need to think to yourself, do I really want to risk this capital for this trade that isn't a part of my trading plan, that isn't a part of my setup, And just because you want to participate in the market, do I really want to risk this capital? Because again, if you lose, it's going to be that much harder of a loss, because you know you shouldn't have taken the trade in the back of your head, in the back of your mind, right? You're like, I knew I shouldn't have taken that trade. I wanted to participate. I was itching to participate in the market, and I ended up taking the trade anyways, and it lost, and now I feel screwed up mentally and emotionally, right? This is something that you guys need to get over, I believe. And it's something that it's normal as well. So don't be super hard on yourself if you are going through that period in your life, or your period in your trading journey, that you are taking some extra trades, but just really think about it before you enter this coming week, right? This week, think about your entries, and not just saying, oh, get the perfect entries. That's not what I'm saying. Think about, before you enter the trade, is this part of my trading plan? Am I trading inside the time that I should be trading, which again goes along with your trading plan? But am I just taking this because I want to participate in the markets, and this doesn't even go along with my strategy? Think about it, just slow down, take your time, and trust me, you will be more profitable over the long term, and your emotional stability will be way higher. So only good things can come with being patient and sitting on your hands in the market, especially in a time right now where, I'll be honest with you guys, it's one of the hardest times to trade the market since I started trading. Over 5 years of trading now, and it's one of the hardest times to trade the market because there's so much volatility, there's so much going on in the macro, in our world, economics, and politically. There's just so much happening right now. There's tariff news, there's all kinds of things going on, not even just in the US, but everywhere. So there's no point in risking capital that's just unnecessary, right? So hope you guys got something good out of this, and definitely let me know if you did see any value in it. If you have any trade or any trading videos, ideas that you guys would want to see, or topics, anything, could be psychology, mentally, could be with strategy, could be with my trading journey, could be anything. If you guys have any video suggestions, definitely let me know down below. But I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know how your trading week did go. I know this was an interesting week, but of course there's people that caught trades. There's always going to be people that catch really good trades on consolidated weeks, or even just harder weeks to trade. So let me know if you guys had a good week. I hope you guys have a good trading week coming up, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.